How much love are you willing to put into yourself? How long will it take for you to do so? Do you look at everything outside of yourself to satisfy how you feel about you? Or do you thirst to see if you can learn more about what you are and who you are? How much love will you put into you? It's not a hard question, but being confused about what you should put into yourself and calling that love is a problem most people face. How much love do you have to put into you? Taking the time to learn your place in the universe, and what does that mean to you? How much love do you have to put into you?
Incremental Science 22. I hope y'all like that little intro right there. Yeah, there's no PowerPoints because we're just going to speak, and I'm going to talk to you about particular things that go out of the sight of what simple things seem to be. This is me attempting to get people to understand or take more serious certain particular values that we may just look lightly as and don't put the effort in as severely as we should. Like some things you don't put the effort in, but they're 10 times or 100,000 times um, more effective and useful than your normal basis of everyday living. So with that being said, let's build real quick. This illustration that I did is particularly a person who is on the highest meditation form, and it starts to look cartoonish. When in fact, the longer you stay in meditation, and those who has or have ever meditated longer than a couple of hours will know this for a fact, that you literally start to see pulses of waves and energy. Your body gets into this circumference of peace, and you start to feel and see waves of energy around you. I've been in a heightened meditation when I've gotten past 2 hours, and I would be able to see the sounds that are coming. So if it was cars on the road in front of me, I would be able to tell the shape of the car as it passed because the sound would wrap around the car. And being in meditation for a certain amount of time, it allows you to do these particular things. Ultimately, that works for different people in different ways. This is the light shining through you, magnifying through you in a certain way. All energy comes from the universe. It comes all the way through the universe, through the planets and everything that's going out there. When you turn yourself on, that's you grounding and you're meditating in the open to the universe. Majority of the time, I like to get directly in the sun because that energy is coming straight down and is being particularly magnified through the sun at that moment. So that's when you want to get it at its height. But then at certain times of the day, the sun is training the sky. So you have like that 4 to 5 hours in the morning, from like 6 to like 11, and then when around from 11 to 12, 12 to like was it 12 to like 3:30, you want to like let that time rest. And if you're able to, again, from like 3:30 until sunset, when the sun is gone, you meditate that time and directly in the sun. If you can do that, you're going to rise a level of consciousness, awareness, and spirituality in yourself amongst any other thing. That's going to be the basis. How it turns on in you, the longer you do it, 7 times, 7 times, 7 times 7. I started out doing it 7 minutes. That's how I was able to break into it. But after I got to 7 hours in a day, that was crazy. And then being able to do that 7 hours in a day for 7 weeks straight, 7 months straight, things started happening. When I hit 7 years, it was a whole nother level. So just to give you the understanding that this is important, meditation is important. It's important for spirituality, because spirituality It's not just electrical currents that you can't see. I mean, you put more faith in grabbing the dial on the radio. You put way more faith in that. But it does particularly the same thing. The dial on the radio, when you're in your car and you're pressing a button and you're trying to get the particular station, what you're doing is you're putting frequency to your car, so therefore you can hear a particular sound. Well, you're a higher antenna. The type of antenna you're a universal antenna. So what's happened is you've been corroded. You're corroded with the options of living, how you put things in your body, salt, sugars, and etc. The plant life will help to clean the acidity off of these particular antennas that are built inside your body. This is why we incorporate a high plant-based diet. And if you have to incorporate some other form of eating, you have to have an understanding of how to flush your body out at the highest potential, which can get difficult over a period of time of you eating the same consistent situations that are not good for you. Understanding that to get in true meditation, you have to have every level in yourself even, as above, so below. So your eating levels and your spiritual level has to be on the same. Your mental level and your action levels have to be on the same. When you have these imbalances, you're going to tell when you try to sit down and do it, you're not going to have the focus because it's going to be something pulling at you. That's telling you what you need to work on. Okay? So just what I was saying before about the radio station. The radio station is the universe in that aspect. And people are dialing in to listen to whatever new music that's coming in on whatever in particular station. Well, you have this power in stillness, and you can pull from the universe and strengthen yourself in ways unknown to man. This is what people are terribly afraid of. You understanding the possibilities and the usages of the fact that you are connected to the universe. And the fact that you're connected to the universe is telltale sign of how strong you particularly can be. You're looking around you and you see extensions of yourself, the value of what you're capable of doing. The telephone, the TV, the flight, the motion, the speed, the flow. You know what I'm saying? The pressure. You see all these energies around you, the force. You see all these energies around you and you look outside yourself like, wow, look what's happening. No, these are the same things that are inside of you. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm talking to you this way, you'll say, well, he's talking that mysticism and that crazy and all this, you know. All what? This is reality. It's the same thing outside of you. But because you need it convenient. Convenient. The con. You know what I'm saying? Why I need to con myself out of something that I can do if I just adjust to myself and understand what that is. We do it in small, minute ways. Everybody does. How many times you've been in the house with somebody, one of your family members, don't matter what your culture is, you've been sitting there with someone and you've been talking about Stan, Steve, Bobby, Michaela, Marcus, or whoever. You talking about all of them. And what happens? One of them calls. You're like, we was just talking about you. You're going to live for a long time. That's connecting to that energy source. It happens all the time, but you'll downplay that as, ooh. Nah, how you going to downplay reality? Those little telltale signs are showing you what you're capable of doing. And that's because of the connections that we have in our bloodstreams with individual people. You have the same metallic reason with some people that you're connected to. And because that metallic reason, there's always electrical functions that are happening that you can't see. Just like the radio in the car, you can't see it, but it's always there. This is why you feel certain things like, oh my God, I think somebody in my family's hurt, or something happened, I feel something, or I feel something about to happen. Like, these are electrical currents you're picking up on. Isn't that telling you to strengthen it though? If you can pick up on something small, wouldn't be the next thought would be, how do I make that strong enough to where I get the signal clear? Like, I'll make this up. It's just reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, to understand the fact of what you're doing strengthens and magnifies the value of what you're pulling in. Eventually, you might just pull in the whole universe. Just think about it. You might just pull in the whole universe. What will happen then? Who knows? You know why? Because the understanding of the value. We beat down every reality. Oh no, that's crazy. I can't. Well, I'm just saying, if that's crazy, how do you explain other inadmissible things that just happen innately around. And you're like, I stay away from that. You can't stay away from it. It's you. It's always going to be you. Now think about this. And I'm going to leave you with this before I got to go work on the second part of this. Every existence experiences things. The only person who can explain your existence is the person who's standing in your existence. Not even the person who steps in the same spot after you leave can explain what you was going through, because you in that particular time can only delegate what you saw. So, how do you change the understanding of truth to the value, right, of saying what's crazy in your own existence opposed to what you should do? What you should do, what you should do as far as focusing on yourself. This is your existence when you seeing these little things happen. Not in nobody else's world, but we quick to go run tell somebody what we saw. Like we want them to validate our existence. How can someone validate your existence? You looking at it. So the time we living in now is not to go run fast and go tell everything you see. Is comprehend it first. Understand the connection of the value of why you even seeing it. And if you seeing it, that must mean you got work to do. I ain't gonna hold you. It's Incremental Science 22. I'll be back at y'all with 22B. All right? Deuces.